Now we got to try getting into this thing. We so far got the door back open on this side. We're back in the car on the passenger side. I've removed the entire door handle assembly altogether because it was wonky. We're just going to replace it. In the meantime, I'd rather the door doesn't latch because then we might get stuck locked out. On the other side there, we've got the whole interior door panel off, which was a hell of a hassle. There's a channel on YouTube. I'll put it here when I do the editing thing. And that guy did this job. I'll tell you what, I was sitting here like a fucking idiot. I pulled that back door handle and tried to open this thing several times. Pulling the back door handle and trying to get this thing to open. I never once thought, let me try to pull the panel off while I have it half open too. This guy fucking saved my life, dude. Alright, real quick before it rains here. Did get the driver's door open finally. I had to jimmy the shit out of the locking mechanism. This is the latch mechanism for the driver's door. Basically, I had to kind of tear it down. I basically cut a hole in the front of it, stuck a screwdriver into that hole, and manually activated the latch to get it open. Obviously, I'm going to have to order a replacement mechanism because neither side was working. And quite frankly, after what I just did to make it open, I'm not fixing it. The door does open. We now have access to the interior. I didn't finish putting the panel back on. Obviously, we're going to have to put the new handle assembly in there. So right now, there's no point in putting the panel on there. Shortly, I'm going to jump under here and see if I can't get the clutch relay figured out. If it happens to just be the clutch sensor switch, then we might have a key started race car very soon here. At this point right now, the RX-8 is push start only, like an old school go-kart or go-ped. There you What's up? We got the new battery in. Not a new battery, it's actually the same battery, it's just dead. Got it charged up, it's in, new terminals are there. The brace was missing, nowhere to be found, so I gotta order one of those up. Noticed there's definitely something going on here. Those are not factory zip ties, and that routing is not correct. Looked around real quickly and didn't see where it should go, but obviously I'll take a quick look, find some diagrams, and get that figured out. Yeah, let's see how she starts up with the new battery in. At this point right now, we got the door handle out, so the door just comes right open for me. Get everything taken apart. The latch works from the inside. I was able to fix that side, but there's still the bar that opens the what's it called? The handle from the outside. Sorry about that. There's still an issue with the handle on the outside not working right. Partially because the handle is broken and needs to be repaired. Also partially because the latch mechanism was missing. The actual bar, I broke it while forcing the mechanism out. While forcing the mechanism open. The mechanism was stuck shut. Yeah. Let's see here. So, as far as starting is concerned on the vehicle, still doing clutch in and everything is normal, but there was an issue with some components of the starting system, particularly the clutch pedal sensor. It was damaged. I was able to get it going where now I can just press the button and hold it. I still need a new bumper for the back of the clutch, and obviously a brand new sensor to mount into the place. So I got some parts to buy, but we are at this point where the RX-8 is running. Still got some things to figure out. I've got to look into the surging issue when I go into gear. When I put it into gear, sometimes I get surging in the revs. I'm not sure what that's all about. There it goes right there. That's not me doing anything. That's the car automatically doing this. I'm not sure if that's normal for RX-8s, and you know, perhaps I'll find out it is. But that's my only concern at this moment. The car seems to be in decent condition. I need to go ahead and run the systems check and see what this light is all about, but I'm just guessing it's probably an O2 sensor or something to do with the modifications that he's made to the car prior to me getting it. He says he has some kind of a tune on it, so that could definitely have something to do with it. We'll see where we're at, but this is the starting point. I mean, let's see if we got mileage here somewhere. There you go, 95,284 miles. He said the engine blew right at 80,000 miles, which from what I've read so far is typical. He had it rebuilt, so it's got 15,000 miles on a rebuilt engine at this point. I'm gonna let it run for a while, because obviously one thing I've also learned about these rotaries is you don't want to shut them off. Apparently they'll flood. Haven't had it happen yet. Don't want to let it happen, you know what I mean? So, back under the hood. It's also the sound on the alternator. I believe it's the alternator, or it could just be the way these engines sound. It sounds like there's an air intake at the top of the engine, which I don't get it. But yeah, sounds to me like there's some kind of a leak, but the car seems to be running fine. Maybe there's a vacuum leak. Maybe that's why I'm having that fluctuation issue. This video filming might have just helped me diagnose the problem, guys, and made me think a little harder. I like it. What's up, guys? Back at it. Get the lenses cleaned up here. Get some tunes on. Get some windows down. Oh man, gotta love the amount of traffic that's caused by construction in Miami. Construction that is allegedly going to reduce traffic, but traffic is increased while they do the construction. The construction projects are underfunded and fucking given to people's buddies, or overfunded and given to people's buddies who underfund their own contractors, however the fuck you want to look at it. A bunch of corrupt bullshit. Long story short, a project that should take 3 or 4 months takes 2 to 3 years in South Florida. So by the time they've completed a 2 to 3 year project that's been causing traffic the entire time, 600,000. We're gonna have the first autocross day for the RX-8 coming up here. Safe, or street racing made legal, something like that. Kind of like SCCA or NASA, but a lot cheaper, a lot more laid back from what I've been told. A lot less competition oriented and a lot more fun oriented, which yeah, at this point that's really what we're after. We're just trying to have a good time. I'm not gonna even try to front and say I can afford to fucking compete in a racing league, because I damn well know I can't. Competition ain't cheap, that's for sure. Alright, so check it out. The door handle all put back together. Took that little trip. I don't think I ever mentioned it while I was babbling about traffic in Miami and construction, but we were on our way to pick up the door latch assembly. Now the driver's door is back to normal. Opens and closes from the inside like a normal car. So does the passenger door. Everything else is all buttoned up. I have the battery disconnected right now because we are in the process of getting ready for track day. I noticed that the front 2 tires are severely dry rotted, and looking through the service records that he gave me with the car, I see he purchased 2 new tires about a year ago. Those would be the rears, which actually look like pretty decent. Yeah, for good years. Doesn't mean we can't use them. We'll definitely take them to the track. We'll burn them up. I just, I don't know how I'm going to bring myself to buy a pair to match up front, but I guess I'm going to have to. Those are dry rotted and mismatched at the same time, so yeah, that's happening.